All right, I say we lock in. I say
I
we
was about to
go.
say, all right, you ready?
Yeah,
All right.
leave that in.
What? Leave that in.
Yeah, leave the
I
cough
was
in.
getting fucking ready to. All right.
No, that's part of it.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hut Hub podcast. Woo. Whoop-de-doo. That's the intro I got. I couldn't really think of anything
Mm,
else.
fair enough.
We couldn't get Mark Rober on.
No, too busy. Too busy being woke.
Yeah.
Still crying.
We were too busy, actually. We just couldn't accommodate his schedule.
Yep. He was cutting in my nap time.
uh,
Play with Legos later. Getting them away.
Wait, what kind of Legos?
I know, just take random pieces and imaginary character. Something you're not familiar with.
I mean, that is kind of something I would do with Legos. Is like once I built the thing, I would like take it apart and be like, okay, now what can I build?
I'd never even built anything. I would just like to have the pieces.
What?
I liked having the characters and I liked having the pieces, and I would just run it from there. I've never made anything with my Legos.
Huh. Yeah,
Never
okay.
built a Lego structure in my life.
They're fun though.
It didn't interest me. I wanted my little characters. I wanted to tell a story. I didn't want to sit there for 3 hours and build a rocket ship.
Yeah, but that rocket ship could then tell a story.
I could tell the story with the many, many bricks that the rocket ship gave me. I didn't need the rocket ship. I didn't need performance enhancing imagination.
I did.
I was natty.
God, I really needed that.
Nah, I was natty. I could have like a 2x2 Lego brick and be like, yep, this will be my Charizard. The green one will be Venusaur. This 1x1 will be me, and let's go. We're ready to
Is
rock.
that because we just spent 15 minutes talking about Pokemon?
It was also a good example, and not wrong.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. So yeah, this
Like,
week.
I had Pokemon cards. Oh, go
No,
on.
I was just gonna get us into the topic. Anyway, Pokemon cards, go on.
I'm gonna say, like, I owned Pokemon cards, but I never, like, played the TCG. I would just use them for, like, stories. Like, my own little, I don't know, imagination, I
I
guess.
just
Like, yep,
collected
this.
them.
They were also just pretty, and I like to look at
God,
them, yeah.
Pokemon cards are so pretty, man.
They are. Video
Yeah,
games.
anyway, I wanted to talk about video games this week since that's kind of how you and I met.
Hmm. I'd say faded. It could have been anything.
It could have
Destined
been
to be.
anything, but it just happened to be video games.
I'd argue it was Discord.
Yeah, but you and I wouldn't have joined the Discord had it not been for League of Legends.
No, we would have just met in the Hut Hub Discord, which doesn't exist, but we would have made.
I don't know how that is possible.
You would have just sat there and been like, I'm gonna make a public Discord server right now, and you would have just typed it in, and I was just conveniently joined.
Just
It wouldn't have
randomly
mattered.
found it.
Hmm.
So what was your first video game?
So, did you ever have a plug and play?
I think I know what it is, but I need to look it
Yeah.
up.
So, I grew up in a house with no internet in the
Like
middle. You might
yeah,
want to get
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Middle of nowhere, no internet, no computer. But I was like nothing to do, so I got a couple of plug and plays, and the first one I had like Galactica and a
Mm,
cat and mouse game on it, and I would just play that all day, every day on some mediocre little controller.
okay.
I think the first like real video game I ever played was Black Ops at daycare.
Oh, fuck, you're right. That would be around the time you would have been in daycare.
Like, I wasn't
Oh
even in
god.
kindergarten yet,
Oh
but
god.
she had a PS2 and her son had Black
I
Ops, and
was
I guess she just didn't care or didn't know, and just let me and some other kids play Black Ops Zombies.
I was in middle school when that came out, Smug.
I had yet to touch the education system.
Oh my god.
Unk.
Oh my god.
I played Black Ops Zombies in like the U.S. White House bunker, and I had no idea who any of the characters were because I had yet to be in a history class.
Yeah, you didn't know about fucking what was it?
I didn't know
Kennedy.
Nixon. I didn't know Kennedy. I was like, these guys talk kind of funny.
Man. I feel so old now.
You should.
Because my first game was, or at least the only one I can like remember. I'm sure I had plug and plays, but like the
Mhm.
only one that I can fully remember is Warcraft 3. And I would play that with my dad and his buddies, which
No, I
is,
didn't touch a PC for like till middle school.
yeah, kind of, my dad was super into computer games. So it's kind of just how I started. I'd play like Warcraft 3, they'd have LAN parties, and we'd go down to the basement, all set up, and then play 4v4 Warcraft 3.
Ooh,
Yeah, it
bro,
was,
I just miss LAN parties.
bro. They were so good. I remember doing it with Halo. I remember doing it with with Evolve. It was so much fun.
I think the next game was a kid had a DS and he showed me Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the end. That was the end of any chance of not being a gamer. My parents never stood a chance at stopping me. They weren't there. They didn't know.
Were they ever like
I was
concerned about you playing video
not
games?
not really. It's just my mom was like, "Hey, you're kind of playing a lot of them. You should go outside a little bit more."
And then you did.
And I did for a while.
Mm.
I mean, until I moved in like freshman high school year, I would play outside more than I played on my Xbox. But then it got cold outside and I didn't want to go outside anymore.
Yeah.
I think the first game that really, really hooked me, and I definitely still have the most hours in it to this day, would have been Roblox. I don't think there's not a way to check, but I probably have somewhere around 10,000 hours in Roblox. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you did grow up playing Roblox.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think it went Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2, and then a little bit of like Counter Strike before Counter
Mhm.
CS:GO came out. It
Okay,
was
the
like
old
the
one, yeah.
old original like kind of Counter Strike. I don't even remember what it was called.
Who's this? It's a dead game. Who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah. And then in middle school, my friends introduced me to League of Legends, and that's how that all started.
I didn't even start playing League until I was almost done with like high school. Like I'd never touched a MOBA or anything. I was just a huge FPS kid for the longest time because I started with Black Ops. So it was all I ever really did.
I do love FPS games, and I think I always prefer playing an FPS game, but like, I don't know, no one I know likes playing it because they just never did play FPS games.
I'm trying to even remember what other games I had. They were just the different FPS games. Did you ever have Plants vs. Zombies Garden
So
Warfare?
my buddy did. I never played it, but my buddy uh would always talk about it, and I'm like, it looks like fun, but like not competitive fun.
It was so much fun, and you could sweat that game. My friends and I would super sweat it.
Well, it was also on console, wasn't it?
I'm not even sure what all it was on.
I'll look it
I
up.
couldn't tell you. But I just remember Chomper was so much fun to play. It was so cringe. I don't know who thought letting a character in the game who can one-shot anyone and they can't be interacted with was like reasonable.
Uh, Xbox, Microsoft Windows. So it looks like it was on computer, but it was through the Windows Store. So I just never played it. Didn't really like upgrade my Xbox all too frequently.
Did I ever tell you the story about how I got the Xbox One?
I don't think so.
So I had a 360, and we weren't like poor or anything. We could have gotten
Oh
it,
no, I think
like
you
when.
did tell me the story, but go on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like I just didn't ever like the 360 never broke, and so I kept using it. So when the one came out, all my friends got it, and I just didn't. I didn't mention it. I didn't do anything. So
Yeah.
it's like, well, my 360 works, and I have all my games. Why would I need the new one? And I think like 2 years go by, and I'm just casually talking with my mom on the way to like Target, I think. And I'm like, Yeah, well, like it's funny. The other day, my friend was like complaining that he always has to take out his 360 to play with me, and she was like, "Well, wait, what do you mean he has to take it out?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I mean the new console's been out for a while. They don't have like I can't connect with his." She's like, "You didn't tell me there was a new one." I'm like, "Well, I don't know. It's not like it broke or anything." And I had to explain it for the past 2 years. I'd been making my friends get back on their 360s to play with me.
God, I love that story.
And she was like, if I had known, I would have gotten you one. And she got all upset. She's like, I look like the bad mom who's not getting my kid the fun new toy that everyone else but him has. And I'm like, they're not going to think that, but mom brain, all of course, will have that kind of
Yeah, it
assumption.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, because she thinks they're going to think that. And maybe the other parents did, but none of the kids would, of course, ever think
No, the
that.
kids were probably just like, oh, gotta get out the 360, I guess.
Yeah, they'd be like, all right, yeah, give me like a minute. I can plug it in, blow the dust off.
Yeah.
I feel like every main game I didn't really play till way later. Like every competitive game. If you want to make an exception, you could say Overwatch, but one, I was on Xbox and PlayStation,
Oh,
and
yeah.
two, calling Overwatch a competitive game is generous.
I would
I'll say
argue,
it.
like, when it came out, it definitely had a very competitive feel to it.
I think it got ruined when they made it an esport. When they went all in on the Overwatch League, I feel like that game died.
They did the same thing with Heroes of the Storm, which was Blizzard's MOBA.
Yeah.
That one did so well, and they had like a really cool like collegiate
Mhm.
esport team deal going on. And it was so much fun to watch,
Blizzard?
and I loved it, but like they just completely fucked the game. And I mean, it wasn't a great competitive game because there wasn't a real way to have an individual like carry, like in League you can get fed
Yeah.
and you can 1v9 carry, and
You could
Heroes
be
of this,
Faker.
yeah. Um, in Heroes of the Storm, your XP was shared. So instead of having like you are level 1 to 18, your team is level 1 to 24 or something like that,
Okay.
which made it rough when people didn't know how to play and didn't know how important soaking XP is. So like I would always play Brightwing, who was a support, kind of like Lulu, but I could teleport across the map to my
Okay.
allies and then heal a little bit and all that. Actually, I would say it's more like a Yumi, but I don't get on them.
Okay. But the same kind of kit and abilities.
Sort of, yeah. But what I would do as Brightwing is your main role is every time you have your mount on cooldown, which is like teleport, it's your summoner, you can mount up, get around the map faster. But
Huh?
since she didn't have a mount, she would just teleport. I would sit in a side lane and just soak XP. And then whenever a fight broke out, immediately teleport and then heal my team and all that stuff.
This is unrelated loosely, but I'm thinking about it now. Do you remember when Riot announced they were making MMO?
What do you mean? They still are making an MMO. It's just
Yeah, but
getting
like when they
completely.
announced it,
Yes, I do remember when they announced it.
and how I think it's pretty clear at this point that when they announced that they had like no work on it done at this point because it's been so long.
Well,
I I think it may have, honest to God, just have been to shit on Blizzard further after that miserable BlizzCon.
yeah, I think they
I
announced
think this
it.
was the warning.
I think it was like an
Your days are
idea
numbered.
in Riot's head to like they wanted to make it, and then they got Ghost Crawler, and then it started making its like development, and then Ghost Crawler had to leave, and then they were like, no, we're gonna rebuild this from the ground up, and now who knows what the fuck's gonna happen.
I just think they brought it up that 1 year to tell Blizzard that their one remaining IP that anyone cares about is dying. By the way, we will be wiping World of Warcraft off the face of the earth with more League of Legends IP.
I mean, the only one that's left would be StarCraft.
And I don't think that'll keep the lights on.
Well, I don't think anyone's gonna really. God, I'm so sad. RTS is a dying genre.
I'd say even just saying it's dying is generous. I'd say that's pretty dead. the only one that anyone cares about would be like StarCraft 2, and it hasn't been mentioned in any mainstream media in years.
That's not true just because there's a lot of other games that are loosely an RTS. Because, like,
But
I'd
none of them are
argue
popular.
Total War is an RTS because the battles themselves are RTS.
I looked it up and I just found like 20 games called Total War.
Yeah, there's Total War. Yeah, it's a franchise where basically it's kind of like a Civ city builder
Okay.
domination thing. But whenever you get into a battle, you have your unit formations and all that, and you actually like can control them in the battle.
I remember seeing my cousin play this when I was very, very small.
Yeah.
He kept using the auto battle and then would lose and would have to do it manually and would complain.
Yeah, the auto battle in Total War is pretty bad. If it's not like a 75% chance, you're gonna lose.
But like, I know none of the no big YouTubers talked about like, oh, I love playing Total War. If I pull Total War up on YouTube right now, it's going to be a single
Yes.
big
Well,
YouTuber for
you'll
it.
have to bring up Total War Warhammer.
Total War Warhammer. Uh, I mean, there's one video with 1 million views, and everything else I'm seeing here is not cracking a mill. So I think your genre is dead.
If it doesn't have 1 million views.
I mean, kinda, yeah. For a video game, you kind of need a lot of players and a lot of interest to keep
Mm,
the lights on.
I mean, I
I,
think a lot is subjective. I think as long as you can consistently find a match in less than 10 minutes, you're fine.
I think you might be coping.
I mean, maybe, but like I legit think like a game's not dead unless it takes you 10 plus minutes to find a match.
I think I think you might have been a Concord fan right now. I think you're just trying to inhale
I
some
no,
coke.
I can't be a Concord fan if I never heard about it until after it was already gone.
I mean, they said it was in development for like 8 years, but I never heard the name until they're like, "Boom, it's here. We did it."
Boom, Concord.
And then it died within, I think, actually like 10 days.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks, just under.
They did zero advertising. It's crazy. I don't know why they thought that would ever be a good idea.
I just love the comparison of like Concord, a paid, you buy into it and then, you buy the game and then you play it, then getting shut down compared to like Deadlock, which was free to play. It was a closed beta, invite only. And then now it's fucking still massive and has been doing pretty good. Like the
People
patches,
like
the
it.
patches are interesting. Like it seems like they're actually like listening to the community and making balance changes that make sense.
I think it's time for Honey Pop 3.
Is that in is that
I
in
think the world's ready.
in development?
I don't know. I just think I was going to say, if you look up Honey Pop, you might get images you don't want to
I
show.
know exactly what I would get, but I wanted to look up Deadlock because I fucking love this game.
I think Honey Pop is a thriving community. I have one friend who played it recently. Oh, it's you.
It's me?
On Steam, I have one friend who has played previously, and it's you.
Oh, played previously. Yeah, I think I played one of the Honey Pops. Oh, just showed that I was playing Rivals of Aether 2.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's because it just went up on my thing. Oh yeah, they also Anyway,
I think they should go ahead and release Lethal Company 2.
why would they release Lethal Company 2?
The Overwatch treatment. It did so well that I mean, Overwatch 2 did so well that I think it's time.
Didn't
Let's release the same game, but say it's 2.
I think they recently came out with a big update for it?
I'm sure they did. I mean, this game's got to still be popular, I'm sure. I haven't heard it mentioned in a while, but I find this is one of those games where I think after the initial big boom, you end up with a decent-sized community that exclusively plays it till the day they die.
Yeah. I mean, it had such a big, massive boom that just
Yeah.
like I don't even think the dev was expecting it because it's just a single dev.
Yeah, he's just a millionaire furry now.
Fucking
He can buy all the fursuits he ever wants.
yeah. Well,
Remember, it was funny when people figured that out, and a bunch of people freaked. They're like, "I can't believe I went and supported a woke developer."
even though
And he was like, "Yeah, I don't care. I'm already $7 million in my bank
I was
account."
gonna say I don't care. I already have made the money. Like you paid me. What? Stop.
Yeah, fair point. Check this out. Check out my Rolex though.
Check out my Rolex on my fursuit.
Check out my 9 Rolexes that go down to my elbow. I got every time zone here. Check it. I have 4 Neuralink implants in my neck for fun. They don't even do anything. I can just afford that. What happened to All Star Brawl, the Nickelodeon Smash clone?
I think it's still
It's getting stuff apparently. Oh, maybe not. I'm seeing last activity 2023 small update patch note.
2023. Yeah. I mean, it kind of died out fast. Kind of like
I
the
thought it was
Warner
played as
Brothers.
Jimmy's dad.
Hugh?
Yeah.
I just. What the fuck is going on? There we go. I don't know what the fuck I just did.
They have Jenny, Teenage Robot. They have Rocco, and they have Hugh. And Hugh's the second DLC, by the way. It went Jenny Brawler, Hugh, Rocco.
Is it?
They just like they put out the game, everyone really liked it, and then they like punted it into the ground and ruined the game.
What did they do to it?
They just started like patching out everything that was kind of fun, that was like a little buggy.
Kind of reminds me of the Warner Brothers one.
Yeah, same thing. I think they just gotta understand that even if it is a bug, if the community likes it, don't touch it.
I think it's people just not really understanding what their game appeals to. Wait, All Star Brawl 2?
Huh? No way. That's not real. That can't be real.
Uh,
I refuse to believe. Hold up, I'm going to the store right now. I'm checking. Oh my god, it's real. There is the sequel. What?
why would they make a sequel?
I guess cause I mean the first one did make bank on it's like oh my god, I was right. If your game does well ever, make a sequel.
Is it just the Overwatch?
I think they did it before Overwatch did. I don't know when this came out. I'm trying to find
November
out.
7th, 2023.
Oh, okay. That's Cora. I see. Is that the villain from Danny Phantom? Is that what I just saw? Just straight up Jimmy Neutron based. Where's like the roster? I'm trying to find the roster right now. The Mr. Krabs! Nah, if they'd done more advertising, I would have rocked the Mr. Krabs. There's Zuko. Ira. Okay, so like every character who people liked from Avatar is in this. It's looking like. I see Azula, I see Iroh, I see everyone. The Rhino from
Oh my
Teenage
god,
Mutant
they
Ninja
have the Angry
Turtles.
Beavers, April. Why did they have Gerald
Why not?
and Gertie? What? Who the fuck is Lucy? Reptar?
I'm pulling up the roster right
Yeah,
now.
I'm looking at it.
It's Lucy is a character from the Loud House.
Oh, okay.
From the fan fiction. The fan fiction is so popular it made it in the game.
Interesting.
Oh, they have Shredder, bro. They have the cool design of Shredder too. That would have been sick. Why is Garfield here? Was Garfield Nickelodeon?
What? I don't think so.
What? Maybe he's just like a crossover.
Oh no, there was a Garfield on Nickelodeon.
Oh, well, fair enough. I do enjoy Mecha Plankton, so he's a size that you can't actually play against.
Mm-hmm.
I only wish they didn't.
I'm glad.
Just play into it. Who cares? Just make
Yeah.
Plankton invisible. If you're a Plankton main and you can figure out which individual pixel you are on the screen, you deserve the win. You can track that pixel.
All right, so getting back on topic now that we're done with the All-Star Brawl.
It's still on topic. That's a video game.
No, it is. No. I just meant something else. Would you say FPS are your favorite game?
Ooh, that's got to be a Halo. You can pick your favorite, but
Well,
it's
I just mean like
every Halo is good.
FPS as a genre. Would you say is your favorite?
Hmm. I guess I would probably say so. It's just I have such a soft spot for it.
Yeah, I mean
I'd
Halo.
say out
I
of
grew up on Halo.
same.
Halo
I
3. I remember modding in all the achievements so I could get the security helmet.
cheater,
Absolutely, and
cheater.
it bugged all the time.
I remember I really liked Halo, and I really liked Halo Wars, which was their, funny enough, their RTS.
Yeah. I actually never
uh,
played it, surprisingly.
it was so much fun. If you played a certain human commander, your money-making building would start out maxed.
Yeah, I think you were telling me about this.
Yeah, and I would just run that, and I would make like 20, and I would send all of my money to my friends so they would be able to win the game. I don't know why. I just really like to watch the money number go up. I understand the billionaire mindset. I
Yeah.
understand Tate. I understand Bezos. Making the number go up is just fun.
So then, do you have a favorite game then?
Like in general, or of the Halo franchise.
Yeah, like overall.
It's I always don't like those kind of questions because like there's so many different factors when it comes to like a favorite. Like I could argue Roblox, I could argue Black Ops, I could argue Halo, technically argue League because that's a lot of what I play now.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you
But
could
like
say League just because that's just what we play all the time, but
I played because I had a crappy laptop for like 5, 6 years, and it could only run the worst theme games ever and also Roblox. And so I would just grind that all day, every day.
mm-hmm.
And I remember I had my friend over for a sleepover once. And like as I was getting ready to go to bed, because it was like midnight, he's like, "Hey, can I just stay on your laptop and keep playing Roblox?" I'm like, "That's fine, you can go nuts." And I go to bed, and I wake up the next day, and he's asleep by then. And I get up, I go to get breakfast. My mom's like, "Hey, I caught your friend at like 5 in the morning playing Roblox on your laptop." I was like, "Oh." And he apparently stayed up dead silent to not wake me up, which is courteous. I'll give him
Yeah, it's
that.
very nice.
Just playing Roblox, like grinding all of the miserable grind games and getting me levels, not even on his account.
Oh, what the hell? I don't know if I would ever do that.
And that's why he was my goat friend until I moved.
I'm trying to think because whenever we used to have sleepovers, we would do Call of Duty pretty much all
Hmm.
night. Um, Me and my buddy, this is the first time I ever listened to like dubstep and like EDM.
Yep.
Is he had it on my speaker. It was like midnight. We had it low enough that it wouldn't wake my mom up, but loud enough that
Okay.
we could jam out. And we would just be playing Call of Duty, taking turns in fucking multiplayer.
Did you ever play Speedrunners?
So no,
Do you know what the game I'm talking about?
absolutely. I grew up on
Uh,
YouTube. I just
you want
never
to blow it real
bought
quick?
it.
So I had a friend who had it after I moved, and it was like the forbidden game. We couldn't play it for more than like 4 or 5 rounds because it would start to ruin the night.
Yeah, people would
We
start
would
getting
get
pissed.
so I was terrible. I think I won one round like ever, so I never cared because I just didn't have like the brain to understand how the game worked at a high enough capacity as everyone else.
Yeah.
But everyone else did. And they would get super like we would have races go until like the box was fully zoomed in, and even then it would go for like minutes.
Oh
It
God.
would not end. Yeah, it was insane. And that's why they all got so competitive. I remember once someone like they brought headphones. They put them on, turned up the music so loud we could hear it, and then like went limp in their chair just playing, would not talk to us, and did not talk for the rest of like the day.
What the fuck?
He just sat at that TV because how it was like his whole basement because we had like 5+ people there every time, so we'd have like 3 rooms we were set up in because we were awesome.
Yeah.
And he would sit in that room if no one else was there and play against bots after a while. Like, he would get so frustrated that he would lose ever that he would go mute in the chair and just play that endlessly.
That
While we would play, like, Smash in the other room. And I was like, bro, are you good? He's like, I don't want to talk.
oh, dude, Smash is so good.
So, I have a funny story about Smash. Same setting.
Hmm.
We had a friend who's, like, was a pro Melee player. Like, he knew, like, he went to tournaments and everything. He would get results. And I had never touched it in my life. But I was like, you know what? I'll play. It seems like fun. Why not?
Yeah.
And because he was confident, he's like, I'll bet you $20 if you can hit one Falcon Punch on me.
Okay, yeah, go on. You've told
Yeah.
the story, but I want to hear it again.
And so I spawned in, I dropped down, I immediately just start spamming neutral B. It's the only button I'm pushing. I am not doing any combos whatsoever. And he's like trying to bounce around. He's like, it's so annoying. And I'm like, just gotta play around it, dog. And I hit it. And like I still get shit on. I think I don't even get a stock on him after that.
Right.
But he gives me my 20. He's like double or nothing. And I just go, no. And I caught up and I walked out of the room.
That's so fucked.
Listen, he has to learn his lesson. He can't have ego like that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's kind of why I was super excited for Rivals of Aether 2, because it's very Smash-like, but like a little bit more competitive.
I've like, despite hearing about it, I've never like looked at the game.
You should look at it. It's a lot different than Rivals 1.
I didn't look at that one. I didn't know that it existed until I heard about the sequel.
Yeah. It's real cool. I've been enjoying it.
I like the frog I'm looking at here.
Rano,
A
he's
frog
fucking
monk,
broken.
dude.
He's fucking busted.
He just looks cool.
So he has a move that he puts the enemy in a bubble, and they just can't do anything. Like they can spam out of it and stuff, but like it just puts them in a bubble. And then if he hits like a certain amount of moves and his shurikens, they last in the bubble even longer. And he can just sit there and set up combos. It's so busted. He's broken as hell.
I don't know, this random picture I just pulled up says he's B tier. And this random picture must be true. It must be correct.
Nah.
24 days ago, he's one of the worst characters in the game.
I mean, here's the thing is he doesn't really have like kill setups. Like,
oh, here's someone saying him being that low is fucking insane.
yeah. No, Rano is so annoying and busted. He's like Sheik if Sheik was on steroids.
I guess that's fair. I mean, I just never really paid attention to any of these. God, I almost said something really controversial that I don't want to get into.
We're gonna say Smash clones.
I was gonna say party games.
Oh no, I would agree that they're party games. I mean, like, because here's the thing: people call them fighting games. I don't, because I've been used to traditional 2D fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
So like these, I just call them brawlers because that's kind of what they fucking are.
Yeah, they're party games. And every time I say that, my friends want to like blow my brains out. And I'm like, I'm just sorry that you're wrong and you think this is a real fighting game.
Yeah.
Like, no fighting game has this much cringe and cheese in it. This is a for fun party game that no one cares about. Shut up.
Yeah, it's definitely telling when you have to go into the settings and remove items to try to make
when
it
you have
competitive.
to disable a million maps, disable items, say you can't do this, you can't do that, this move is banned, this idea is banned. It's like if you're banning so much stuff to make it a fighting game, you're not playing a fighting game. You're like playing a modded for fun party game.
Yeah, I will say with Rivals 2, it definitely gets rid of a lot of that.
Okay, so it's a lot more leaning into the fighting game aspect.
Yes. It's a lot
Okay,
more
that's fair.
leaning into just like a competitive brawler. There's still some cheese and some annoying stuff, but like, because what, Forsburn, he's like a hyena and he can make he can make a clone of himself.
Okay.
It doesn't do anything, but he can't, like, it's just another thing on the screen you have to keep track of.
Bro, I hate characters that do like summons or dupes and stuff like that. It's always so cringe. Because whoever's playing it is either the worst player in the game and it's easy, or they are a giga sweat and deserve to have their rights taken away.
Yeah.
They should not be a human.
I don't think he's
Like,
all too good.
How am I forgetting the name? The angel character from the one game, Guilty Gear.
Oh,
I don't think her name's Angel.
Dizzy?
She like wears the mask,
Jacko.
throws the little Jacko. That's it, Jacko.
Yeah, Jacko
Yeah,
is
that
a
character's
good
cringe.
Jacko is annoying as hell. A bad Jacko is just funny.
Yeah, a bad Jacko is like, okay, thank you for the free points.
Hmm.
And a good Jacko is like, I think you should be put on the front lines.
You are
I
now on
think
the vanguard.
you should be drafted and put there with nothing. Can you real quick? Can you hit the Jacko pose for me though?
Yeah, hang on.
Thank you. I remember when
I was
you
about,
got
I
me
was
kind of into Guilty
about
Gear
to
for a
look
little
it up,
bit.
and
I
then I
was
realized I shouldn't look up Jacko pose.
bad idea. I mean, I look up Guilty Gear Jacko and I see nothing bad, but
Okay.
you, it might go wrong. We'll find out.
Yeah, the Jacko
I don't see any
pose.
boobs. Yeah.
Jacko pose.
Why was the one other fighting game that had like Ruby and a bunch of random IPs in it? Do you know which one
BlazBlue.
I'm talking about? Blaze Blue, that was it. Bro, that one was so fun.
I didn't get too into it. I
I've
got
never
it for the
played.
Switch, but because it's the Switch, I just couldn't do much.
My friend had it on his Switch, and we just got addicted to it. I would say more so I got addicted to it, and I would make him play with me. And then I got it on my own. He's like, "Wait, you're just playing without me?" I'm like, "Well, do you want to play right now?" He's like, "No, but you could have asked." And I'm like, "Well, if you don't want to play, I'm just gonna get on the ranked ladder." And I think I ended up hard diffing him after like a few weeks.
Well, yeah, you did tell me about how you hate losing. So if someone's good at a game and beats you at it too much, you just hardcore grind it.
Bro, it's not necessarily like losing. Like if it's like when if I lose and they like start talking shit, that's when I snap.
No, you've snapped at me before.
Well, you were getting kind of cringe. Let's be real.
You snapped at me while playing Street Fighter, and the reason you snapped at me was because I was locking in.
Yeah, you were being cringe. I didn't know what I was doing. I think that's fair.
I do think it's
You
fair.
were locking in your one trick and just turbo sweating, and I'm like, okay, well, this is AIDS.
I would
Why am I
say
here?
turbo sweating, but
You were going quiet while I was trying to banter and just shitting on me.
that's just how I play
What
games.
do you mean?
It's hard for me to concentrate.
That's fine. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, but I can't lose.
We
to
gotta move
you.
on. We gotta move on.
Okay.
It's gonna be it's gonna be the rest of the episode if we don't move on. If you don't let me move on, I'm gonna fight this till I die.
I know. All right. Did you ever play Wizard 101?
I played a little bit, but I couldn't convince my mom to buy anything, which meant I couldn't play.
Yeah, you'd get up to like the end of like the first half.
The tutorial.
Not even
Yeah,
the
I'd
first
finish
half.
the tutorial, and then the game would be done. Like, okay, you can't play anymore unless you spend money.
Yeah.
The only game I ever got my mom to buy me, like, the in-game currency for, was a game called Adventure Quest Worlds. It is a browser-only MMO. And I, after like an hour of begging, convinced her to spend $5 so I could buy a new class. I literally went into her room and I got like on my knees. I'm like, "Mom, please. I want the Warlock class so badly. It looks so cool. Please, Mom."
How much did
And she's
you
like, "I just don't know about that." And I'm like, "Please."
How much did you even play this game?
I had like 4 max level accounts.
Oh god.
Because you could get a little bit of the in-game currency throughout playing, but not. It cut off quick. So if you wanted to do something new, you had to start over or sell everything.
Okay.
And so I would just make new accounts over and over again. And this was before I even had an email. It was on my cousin's email. And he would get all of the emails, like, and I would be like, "Hey, can I have that code real quick?" He's like, "Why are you making another account?" I'm like, "Well, I want to try out this new class, bro."
What was
He's like,
what's your go-to class for like an RPG?
I think it really depends on my options. I like being able to summon stuff if that's ever a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But like in most MMOs, that's never really a thing.
In Final Fantasy it
Or if
is.
it is a thing, it kind of sucks. Yeah. Which is fair. You can't make it too good where it's like, yeah, I summon this thing and then I do nothing while my NPC guy carries the game. But it's like,
Yeah.
please, I want to summon a cool dragon like in animes and have it fight. I've always
Yeah.
said if SAO was real, I would be like a tamer or I would not even be a combat class.
I think yeah, we did have that conversation of what you would be.
I just think that like there was the joke. I don't know if you ever saw SAO Abridged.
I did see it.
Do you remember the joke with the blacksmith girl where when she starts hitting the hammer, it does like a million mini games?
Yes.
That was like, I'm like, yeah, that's what I would actually want. I want that.
Just sitting there like fucking.
Yeah, to you, I'm mindlessly hitting a sword, and in my game, I'm playing like 15 mini games at once, and I'm popping off.
Yeah, I always
That
hated
always looked cool.
the crafting like in RPGs where it's just like a progress bar that goes up.
Yeah, it's like that is just no fun in
You
it.
just sit here and stand still making 40 fucking gloves.
I think it'd be so cool if it had its own little mini game, and the better you did, the better the item.
Mm-hmm.
And
There's
so you
some
would just
that do that, but
like a rose.
I can't think about them.
Like, yo, you are the best cook in A. Can you please make me an S tier steak to heal an extra 5 HP when I eat it? Like, yeah, 5 grand.
Yeah, no,
5 grand, I will make it for you.
I do think the people that did like just jobs
Yeah.
were just they had the best life. They didn't
It's
have
just,
to risk
I feel
their
like it'd be
life.
so
They just sit at home, make stuff for people that are stupid, and spend their money.
There was that one character in SAO who was like still in the level 1 town halfway through the show, and they're just like working at a church as like raising NPC children.
Yeah.
And I'm like, low key, if I wasn't like if I got to choose my class and I'm not stuck in the game risking my life, that's what I'd be doing.
Well, I mean, even if you were stuck in the game, like you're just in the town.
I think if I'm stuck in the game, I'm playing the game. I'm like, I want out.
Yeah, worst comes to worst, you die. But like, better than
Yeah.
trying to live a fake life.
Did you ever go through the era where you saw SAO be like, you know what? I would enjoy being stuck in SAO.
You mean my entire life?
Fair enough.
I don't think I've ever grown out of the fact that I would enjoy SAO.
When I'm talking like, I remember in like middle school, all of my friends would be like, yeah, if SAO was real and I knew I would get stuck in it, I'd still play.
Yeah.
And when I was in middle school, I'd be like, absolutely. And now I'm like, yeah, in hindsight, that is a little crazy.
It's a little crazy, but like, I'd still do it.
You know what? I actually will risk my life for the in-game XP experience.
Yeah, well, think about it. It's probably like all the others where you get to the end of the game and now all of your alts get like plus 5% XP, so then you just go hop on another class.
Yeah, so when I get out of the game 5 years later, like, put me back in. I want to do another run.
Hang on, I got an alt idea. I got a funny idea.
I'm gonna do an axe this time. Puts the helmet back on, plugs it back in.
I'm gonna do an axe this time.
Yeah, I wake up, my family's in the room crying. They take the headset off. I'm like, wait, can I see the headset real quick? They're like, sure. They hand it to me. I put it back on.
Just immediate
Go back to the coma.
comatose.
Like, oh my god, no! What do you do?
That's so funny.
I think it'd be pretty funny. I think maybe I'd do that for the bit.
But
I go back in like, well, I have to grind my way out again. But
I was gonna
that
say
was
it's a
funny.
crazy bit, but your
But
family's
hear me
like
out. I get out the
crying.
second time, I do it again. Like, no. This time I swear I won't put it back on. I promise. I swear. Pinky swear. Just give me the headset. I just want to look
I
at
want to
it.
destroy it. Puts it back on. I think I always do like a paladin class.
I don't. There's a webcomic that I have read, or I'm reading. It's ongoing, and there's a character who's just become the Pope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he like got through the elections, he beat all the quests, and now he's just the Pope in this SAO like video game. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. Blacksmith something.
Mm.
And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like so cool. That sounds like fun. He's just like in the Vatican hanging out. I can't remember what other. Is there another popular SAO video game? Or another popular like video game anime, I should say.
Video game?
Like all about a video game.
I mean, there's
I'm sure there is. I just don't know of one.
well, So there's a new game.
Oh, Overlord. Yeah.
Overlord, there's a new game where they're making the game. There's
I do enjoy that Overlord is just SAO, but he's like, yeah, what if I was max level and everyone else was like actually brand new?
well, there's a new game where they're making the game. Then there was the one that I hate, No Game No Life,
Oh, I like No Game No Life, despite
despite all the
I
issues.
don't like the one part, yeah, but I like I like the art, I like the colors.
The colors are good, the art's
The
cool, the
movie is
concept
so
is
good.
fine. I just hate everything else about it.
But the movie though, the movie's so
I don't even
good.
think I saw the movie. I think I just watched the
So
series.
the premise of the movie is it's like a prequel, and it's actually them in a past life.
Oh,
Uh where it's the siblings, but they meet and they end up lovers.
what the fuck?
So he's like the human race is being hunted to extinction, and he's like the last hope. And he meets her, and she's like a fallen robot angel, and they end
I
up working
see.
together to try and save humanity.
Okay.
And they have the one. It's like in the show, there's this angel character. I don't remember her name. Jabril, and she's in the show. And in the show, she's like a comic relief character. And in this movie, she's actually like the main villain. She's like, I will kill all of the humans. I hate all of you. Which I'm like, that's an interesting character shift from this comic relief character who turns out to be like, I'm not sure if I can bring up the big H dog on YouTube.
The big H dog?
Yeah, from World War II, Big H dog.
Oh,
I'm not sure if I can say his name, so I'm
maybe
gonna bounce
not.
around it.
Yeah, yeah.
But she's kind of like him a little bit in the movie.
Did you ever watch Saga of Tanya?
I watched the abridged.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched any of it, but
I read some of the manga, but it's just so word soup. It's kind of unbearable.
yeah, that's fair.
But I think the idea is kind of funny. I had a friend who really liked it because he was already kind of a sci-fi history fan. He likes those settings where it's like, yeah, this is World War II, but this happens instead or whatever. But I was just like, yeah, it just gets boring so fast to me.
See,
What?
I'm finding a bunch of animes about video game, not like about like Persona and shit, but no like.
Yeah, I'm finding ones where like if you blur the line a little bit, like I'm saying Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm like, I guess kinda. If you wanna really say it, I can give it to you.
I did like New Game. I liked. Oh, I guess that one isn't. I was gonna say Konosuba, but I don't think that's.
So there's this hyper niche anime trope that I despise so much.
Okay.
And it's when there's a video game in an anime, and they do the thing where they cut in and they act like it's SAO, where they're the character and they're doing all this crazy stuff, you know?
Okay.
And then they show it in the real world, and it's like the worst MMO known to man.
I think I
I don't know.
just watched an anime that kind of does that.
It's really hard to like explain, but like in the video game, it's like SAO and they're doing all these crazy moves and everything, and that cuts out, and it's just them at their keyboard and they're like casually clicking their left mouse. I'm like, yeah, I'm farming right now. I'm like, this is the worst trope ever. Why is it not carrying over? Think.
It was this one that I was watching where it kind of did that.
I read a little bit of the manga of this, and then I got really bored and dropped it.
I watched the whole thing.
I thought you didn't really watch romance anime. This is not the anime episode, by the way. We're doing a hard pivot.
I don't really all too much, but like I saw this, I'm like, it's interesting, and I liked it.
I went through in like early ice high school the like anime romance slop phase
Mm,
where I just watched like all of them. I binge watched. There was one weekend where I watched like all of the sad ones. So I watched like Your Lie in April. I watched all 50 episodes of Clanad in like a day. I was like, it's just really good. I like it.
huh.
And Plastic Memories. I watched like all of those. And then I was just up at like 6 in the morning. I'm like, it's so sad. And then I went to bed and I woke up. I'm like, it was like okay. It turns out if you're not severely sleep deprived, it's not that good.
Yeah, I think that's about what it was with this. Like I thought it was fine. It was a fun
I'll do
fun adventure.
One of my favorites is one called Lovely Complex.
Excuse
And
me.
yeah, it's one of my favorite romance animes. It's pretty like okay.
What the
Yeah, and that
fuck?
the whole premise is that she is like 6'9" and he is like 5'3", something like that. And that she has a huge complex about her height, and so does he. I think he plays like basketball despite being like an actual like manlet. And it's nothing impressive, but it is fun. The one part I really liked was it had a bit where, because I feel like in every romance series, there's a part where the guy does something wrong, and the girl gets upset, and
Mm-hmm.
he has to like win her back over. They do the opposite, where she messes up and he gets pissed, and she has to try and win him back, which I really liked. Because she has a coworker who like hits on her, and he gets really upset when he sees that. It's like, why didn't you tell him to stop? And then she freaks out. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And now I feel like a lot of the romance ones are just. Oh. So if you look up the anime After the Rain, this is this is an interesting premise where it's she's in like high school and has a crush on her like 40-year-old manager at work.
What?
Yeah. And really wants to date him and can't get over him. And the whole time he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm 40 and you're like actually 16. I'm not going to date you." And she's like, "No, but you should like date me though." And for clear reasons I dropped it. It's like I don't like being here anymore. This makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. It would be even weirder if it was written by a dude.
Was it not?
I don't know. I'm just saying it would
Hold up,
it would be
checking.
weird if it was written by a dude
It's written by a 40-year-old dude who runs a gas station.
who did at one point employ a 16-year-old.
No, it is a woman. Okay.
Okay, it's less weird, but
It's still odd, but I'm willing to give a little bit of wiggle room.
yeah.
Actually, the most wiggle room I would have been willing to give if it was a gas station 40-year-old man. But, like, I just kind of think it'd be cool if this happened. Like, not to me, but like if
Yeah.
it just happened, I like in general, I think that'd be an interesting story.
Dude, I
Like, huh.
still can't get over how good Dan to Dan is. It's so good.
It's pretty.
I just love
It's
how
pretty
it's like
baller.
it's every genre.
It's everything, yeah. I do enjoy that it doesn't take itself very seriously,
No.
which I feel like is what you need to do for this premise. Where like, yeah, aliens are also here, by the way, and there are ghosts and all this. They steal his
I
balls.
think that's the biggest thing is the alien and ghosts steal this kid's balls and now he has superpowers.
Yeah, and now the aliens have a attack called like the Mega Awesome Zone or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, it's
God.
peak.
The mega
We're just
awesome.
we're playing into it so hard that it makes it really enjoyable.
All the characters are also super enjoyable.
I also think it's cool that the author pays all of his assistants like way more than everyone else.
Uh,
I don't know if you knew
I
about that.
didn't know.
Yeah, he talks about like, yeah, when I was an assistant, I was so poor I couldn't eat. And I remember when like the mangaka I was helping gave me like $10, I like was so happy for $10 to go and eat food. He's like, nah, I don't want anyone else to feel like that, so I pay them more. I'm like, that's so normal of you, but
Yeah,
it's sad that that has to be cool.
it's so just incredibly awesome, but just sad that that is
Sad.
what's awesome.
Yeah, it's sad that this is like your beautiful coming up story. It's like, yeah, I actually got to eat food once, and that made me so happy that I let my employees eat food. I'm like, I would hope so, yeah, but fair enough, I guess.
God, it's just such a good anime and a good manga.
What is like your dirty pleasure anime?
My dirty pleasure anime.
Yeah, like the anime that just no one likes, but you kind of enjoy.
I don't know if I have one that like no one likes, but I really enjoyed New Game. This is one that I go back to a lot because it's not like it's just a slice of life anime about game developers,
Uh huh.
and I just really liked it. I just thought it was cute and fun, and it had what's her name, Hifumi. I love this character.
Oh, I've seen that face before.
I think it's my Ubisoft profile picture. But no, I recommend it. I just think it's fun.
Trying to remember if there's one that I'm like trying to recall if there's one I've watched that I've like never heard a good review over. I mean, I have ones that I've like never heard anyone talk about. Oh, I mean, I really like a Kami Good Kill.
I'm not looking it up.
Fair enough. Uh, it's just like the most like middle
No,
school edgy anime.
I know what it is.
Yeah. To be fair, I read the manga. The manga is a lot better than the anime. Not by much, but I'll take what I can get at this point. It's just like, oh look, we kill the main characters. Like, yeah, you killed all of them though. Like this, it has like the reverse problem where like, yeah, no one dies, so I don't care. It has a reverse problem like, yeah, everyone dies, so I don't really care. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
get attached.
Well, that's how I felt about fucking what's that one big fantasy show?
I'm gonna need a little bit more detail.
Uh Daenerys, Game of Thrones.
Uh, never
I
watched.
didn't.
Are you trying to like describe it to me, or are you just saying Game of Thrones?
No. That is the one because I didn't care because everybody just kept dying. Like by
Fair,
season 4, I realized nobody was gonna live.
bro. Chelsea in Kamika Kill. I think she gets introduced and killed in the same episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she like shows up. They're like, yeah, this is what this character does, and then she fucks up her like only mission on screen and gets executed. I'm like, well, that's a shame. I liked that character.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah, her, the one with the headphones.
That's like a nice character design.
She either dies in the same episode or like the next episode. It is incredibly short-lived. I'm like, oh, okay. It also has S Death, which peak character design, peak personality, best character ever written. For reasons I don't think I need to explain. If you know, you know. Yeah.
Got it. I think I figured it out immediately.
She's a hyper yandere psychopath. My
Mmm.
favorite. Geek.
That is your favorite, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just like crazy people. What the hell?
I like when they're psycho. Makes it more fun. Why is there? I scrolled down a little bit. I found the Death compilation on YouTube. I don't know why that's a thing.
You just want the compilation of Esteth.
Just watch the show. Once she's introduced, she's in a lot of it. Remember what other animes were just like absolutely terrible? What's like a middle school anime? Like anime that is only good if you're in middle school.
I think for a lot of people that was Death Note.
Death Note. Back in the romance slop or in High School Host Club.
Oh God. Yeah, I remember hearing about
I
that
don't.
one a lot.
I watched it and it was like an anime. It wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen, but I had a friend who had watched it like 20 times and they had like owned every manga in English and Japanese. They were obsessed with it. It was the only thing they would consume.
I remember trying to watch it and just not being all too interested.
It's like watchable, I guess. I remember they were like, there was I think a few years ago, they were like, oh, they're going to make a season 2 confirmed. And then I think that just turned out to be fake and not true at all. I Googled season 2 and I only find a Reddit post from 3 years ago talking about how it's never to show up. Did you ever watch booby animes?
I watched High School of the Dead.
I think I watched like all of them. You know, as a growing boy, you gotta,
Yeah, as a
high,
growing boy, you really gotta.
high School of the Dead, High School DxD,
Didn't watch that one.
Rosario X Vampire.
Didn't
I think
watch that
Rosario X
one.
Vampire was like my second anime. I think I watched SAO. I found my friend liked it. I'm like, oh, cool. Like SAO's cool. He's like, yeah, it's like a genre. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, watch Rosario X Vampire. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. And I was like, whoa, those are
Monster
like breasts.
Mezume was my first anime I finished.
I liked it.
I also liked it a lot.
I think the manga is a crime on Earth, actually.
Why?
There's actually just no plot at all. I'm not kidding.
There's no plot in the anime either.
Well, in the plot, they're like, yeah, he's gonna marry one of them. And in the manga, they bring that up, and then it's never mentioned again. And he's just like hangs out with them.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, I feel like as an author, at some point, you should bring up that important plot point you mentioned, at least a second time. Who was your favorite?
It would be Zombina.
Out of the main ones, though.
God, God, I didn't really like any of the main ones.
Really? As long as you don't say the
No,
harpy,
I
you're
hated
in the
her.
clear.
I
Or maybe the
hated
slime
her.
too. I don't think you can say this the harpy, and I think the slime also is a no
I
go.
think the slime is like iffy. It's like it's weird.
I remember there was one part where the slime just spoke a normal sentence, and everyone freaked out, and they never brought it up. You are playing a dangerous
No, no, it's
game.
fine. I'm just looking at the characters. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We go to the Wikipedia.
The descriptions.
Look, there's no pictures.
I'm sure to no one's surprise, I liked Arachnid. I like the Spider Woman.
Yeah,
She was my favorite.
I think you've mentioned that before. Racnera.
She's so hot.
Uh, I mean, the problem is like the character that I immediately was like, oh, that she's super interesting, just was shown in the last episode of the anime.
Was never shown again.
It was the Headless Horseman.
Oh yeah, I'm forgetting the word.
I can't think of her name.
I can't think of what the species is called.
Doulahan.
Durandal, something like that.
Doulahan.
Doulahan. That was it.
Yeah,
I was close. I was getting there.
I really enjoyed her design and character, and then I just thought was the last
Those are
episode
the fattest air quotes I've ever heard in my life.
where
Design and character.
no, I can't think of the words. I liked her
I
design
can
and
see the air
character, not
quotes.
the air quotes. There were no air quotes.
There were some air quotes there, be honest.
Nope.
A little bit of air quote.
Maybe
smidge.
maybe a smidge, but
Bro, so I know you didn't watch it, but Rosario X Vampire
mhm.
was like a romance booby anime, but would have a fight every episode. And the fights would be so short that they would play into it. And there would be after every fight, a bat would fly on screen and be like, yeah, this fight was 1 minute and 14 seconds, by the way.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, we are just bragging that we don't care about the action at all. And then I think it turns out the monsters are like human racist. I think was like the plot or something. I don't really remember, but like they all freak out when they find out he's a human for some reason.
Huh.
But then I think he like survives a hit from Dracula. He just does that. He just gets hit by like Dracula blood magic and is like walks it off. And then Dracula just goes like, "Well, I guess you're chill. I guess you can date my daughter."
Wait, it's all about dating Dracula's daughter?
Yeah, so the main girl is a vampire who like can't control her power, so she has to wear a cross. And if she takes it off, she goes like Dommy Mommy mode. And it's like really OP. And that's all I remember. That's the story. Just did not matter when I was watching. Did not care. But yeah, Dracula tries to kill him. He lives one blow, and Dracula completely forfeits because, well, you've won me over.
Is this gonna be a
Fair
bad
enough.
idea?
Do not.
Is it gonna be bad?
Audience, look it up on your own. You'll have to look it up after the pod or in a separate
Is it
window.
Rosario Vampire?
That is it, but you might have to blur this.
Okay, so I'm gonna go really quickly because we are at an hour.
Mhm.
So
Do we want to wrap it up, and then you want to click the button?
I'll click the button as you wrap it up, and we'll see what happens. Actually, wait, I could just do this. I don't see anything.
What you did.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't see anything.
I guess we're safe.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, it's this one. I
safe.
remember this character. I've seen this character a
Yeah.
shit ton.
That was the second anime I ever watched, and my friend recommended this to me without warning at all.
Huh.
And I would watch it on. This will be the last story, and then we can wrap it up.
Okay.
This one's kind of funny. I'd watch it on Netflix, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna not watch this, but
Oh,
I didn't want
no.
I didn't want anyone to catch that I was watching it. So what I would do is after I was done watching it, I would open 9 other shows and drown it out
Oh my god.
in my been watching feed. So like if you wanted to find it, you would have to go and like sort through 30 pages of like random shows that I would just put on.
Wow, you were committed to the cause of hiding what you've been watching.
Well, I was like, I really don't want to get caught watching this because I will get executed. So we cannot let this be known. All right, now you can wrap it up.
Okay. You
Bye. Waving. Bye. Bye. Bye, everyone. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
no, it's still going.
You get
Keep
rid of
going. Keep
losers.
going.
Oh, not losers.
Yeah, they're not
lovely
losers.
Audience.
Go on.
Not little, not. I like saying they're losers as if we haven't been talking about boob anime for 20
Yeah.
minutes. I don't think I have any ground to stand on here, but I'm still gonna say it. See you all next time. Hit the button right now, or else I will go mute.